your face with your own semen retention?
That's kind of gay, but I've done so much semen retention where I came in my pants in my morning, in my morning wake up.
I once slept with this girl in her dorm room in college, and we didn't bang, and she didn't. I got no action. I literally slept next to her. I woke up and I had the worst blue balls I had ever had, and I had to limp to class, and I couldn't. I was like, didn't know what it was happening. I assumed I knew what was happening. And as soon as the accounting class was over, I went back to my room, busted a nut, and like the pressure was gone. I was like, holy shit. Like that was painful as all hell. Wow.
Jesus, bro. You couldn't close the deal?
I don't know. I don't know what happened. I'm here right now talking about semen retention.
So what happened, man? Did you get like a little scared of like closing the deal or something?
I didn't really want to sleep with her because I wasn't that attracted to her. I don't know, we were in a friend group, but at the same time, I just didn't want to fuck her. And I wanted to fuck this Norwegian chick. And that's where I also fucked up and did not end up closing the deal with her because I'm a moron. And that's what morons do. And then morons come here and then they talk to morons.
Situation, there's this one friend of mine that we've like slept together, but had no intention on like sleeping with her, and I don't think she would have said no. It was just sort of my decision to like let's be friends, and it's a little weird to kind of sleep together, but it worked in that situation, so I think I get it.
Yeah. Do you think that every chick you have ever slept with is like your soulmate, or basically, yeah?
I don't know what soulmate really means, because suppose like you meet your why wouldn't your soulmate be some woman in Bangladesh or something? Why is it?
I mean, that's what makes a chick you fuck your soulmate. It's soulmates, not soul. It's not singular. It's plural.
Oh, I always thought it had to be like exclusive to one person.
No, because like if there is such a thing as like a simulation or a destiny, every chick you've ever banged is essentially, one more blip.
No, because I've had like regretful bangs, where just like I was like, oh, why did I do that? Just I don't know, just something about her was just I didn't really mesh with, but being a guy, you tend to want to push the boundaries and sleep with them, so I do that. Then I feel bad, but those ones were not my soulmates.
Well, the theory is, I mean, I hate to say this is like becomes a Calvinist conversation about simulation theory, but that's my opinion about soulmates, meaning like every chick you've ever fucked has been significant. It's not an insignificant action. It's because it's a union. So it's like you're doing fucking sex yoga with another human, and it's a very important big deal. It's like, because it's one of the most fun things ever. So, yeah.
I don't know, dude. I just wanted to joke around with you. I didn't need to know all that.
Excuse me? Is someone speaking to me?
Yeah, I'm speaking to you. I didn't need to know all that. So, like, every chick you ever had sex with is like your soulmate?
All right, well, we're just doing a little wellness check on you, Zen, and make sure you're okay. So, glad to hear you're doing fine.
You all right, man? What's going on?
Okay, so welcome back to Dr. Tarot, where we're talking about career, love, health, and performing a frequency modulation on some low IQ dumb people who waste all their time, talk about nothing, and never read books. And here they are. talking to us right now.
That is how we produce the many sounds. Frequency modulation, synthesis. But I'm going to break that all down for you. And we'll look at it on some software on my microprocessing computer that I have here. So I think that will be the easiest way for you to visualize what is happening. As my friend would say, see with your ears and listen with your eyes. I never really knew what he meant by that, and I didn't get a chance to ask him as he was hit by a meteorite one day. But I'm going to explain all of these concepts for you. And we will start with our operators. And at heart, they are basically an oscillator, a source of sound, producing a sound wave. And they have a few extra components. They have an amplifier controlling the volume of the sound. They have an envelope which shapes the nature of the amplification over time. We can adjust their pitch as well. So to help showcase this for you, I'm going to grab a guitar, as this should be, what do you mean by that? A very familiar way to look at the concept of an operator. So a guitar string is an oscillator. When I pluck the string, it oscillates back and forth, producing the sound wave we hear. In this case, amplified by the amplifier so we can hear it at a nice volume. And as I mentioned, in our flagship synthesizer, the 6000 FMX, there are 6 operators, so 6 of these tone generating features. Just like on a guitar, there are 6 strings or 6 oscillators. Now, with the guitar, we can change the pitch. By playing on different frets, and our keyboard will serve that purpose for us on our synthesizer. But we can also tune these guitar strings to different pitches. And we can do the same with the oscillators we have in our synthesizer. Now, when I play the guitar string, I can control its volume by how hard or soft I pluck the string. So I could play it louder, or I could play it softer. And with an electric guitar, I have a volume control, so I can do that more specifically with that knob. That is like the level control we have in our amplifier in our operator. Now there is another characteristic. When I pluck this string, or if I pick it, it changes over time the sound that you hear. And on a guitar that is relatively fixed, you might hear the click of the pick on the string, and the front end of the sound is what we call the attack. So you might hear that click of the attack, and then the string sounds out. And then over time, it decreases in volume. So that is the change in its sound over time. what we would call its envelope. If you think about a guitar or a piano or a glockenspiel, how they produce a sound when you trigger them varies, and they kind of each have their own unique envelope. And that is something we'll think about when designing sounds in our FM synthesizer. And we'll look at this when we get into the software so you can see it there. Now, because this is an electric guitar with a volume control, I can define its envelope by using that volume control. So let's say we want a slow attack where the volume ramps up. And then we can turn it back off relatively quickly. Or we could start with the volume up and take that sound away faster than the string vibrating on its own would. So there, my movements are controlling the volume envelope, the amplified envelope of the wave that is coming from my operator, in this case our guitar string. So these are pretty simple physical concepts which underpin the operators in our synthesizer, and we'll get to see those in action in just a moment. The last component, this is just about the production of sound, audible sound coming from our operator. And we have some different terminology in FM synthesis, where when we have an operator that is producing audible sound, we call that a carrier. So these strings on the guitar are effectively a carrier because we can hear each of them. We can also use our operators to modify the sound of another one. And in this case, we call them modulators. We don't hear their sound, but we hear how it influences another wave, changing its character. And that's really the magic of FM synthesis. So we don't really have that option on the guitar, so that's where we'll dive into the synthesizer. But modulating a frequency, pitch is a frequency. If I wiggle my finger on the string, we have vibrato. I'm changing the pitch over time. I'm modulating pitch.
So I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Christian, but I mean, you don't believe he died for your sins, or? No, they got some of the best when it comes. I don't think it'll pass for truck drivers though. Where he's like literally created like a chart where we could take the Hebrew letters and speak to each other through text message in Hebrew using the Ge'ez alphabet. So it really doesn't matter what might think. At least I didn't think that she was doing that, right? Sure. That she was like a complete. Okay. But I guess here's what I would say. So when you say that, right? You say she obviously made a distinction between the two. Like, first of all, obviously, I haven't listened to it yet, so I can't like confirm yet, but I will. I'd rather listen and then confirm. But more importantly, genuinely, but genuinely, like, more importantly to me is that if it actually we're all
I'm not denying mental health at all. I think some people take advantage of it.
Yakov.
So were you talking to Nora and Diego and Abby about sex tapes that you have or something?
About a what? What game?
Who?
I don't know. Are you talking to me, Danny?
Is that true? So did you guys hack my phone? Like, what happened?
What are you talking about? Oh my god.
Yakov.
Hack your phone.
Yakov, I gotta tell you something. You know your PTR? when bees make the honeycomb, they're actually circular, but because of their body warmth, it forms a what is that? 2, 4, 5, a hexagon. Yeah.
It's the only kosher food from non-kosher animal, insect, whatever. Well, it comes from the plants, really, from the flowers. Well, it doesn't pass through their digestive system. And actually, what do you call it? The pollen sticks to their body, and then they transfer it from one bee to another, and then they put it into the honeycombs. So I went to a whole share about it. It was really amazing. So because it doesn't go through their digestive system, it's perfectly kosher. Actually, honey is like the only food that doesn't expire. No, the same thing as Twinkies.
Twinkies don't expire?
Yeah, they have nothing natural. Yeah, you could, as long as you keep them in the sealed package, they'll last forever.
What else?
Twinkies are my favorite.
What else do you know about bees?
Buy them and hide them from my kids.
What else do you know about bees and Jews?
Bees go into wars, just like ants will go into wars. Like all these ants will go into war with another ant colony. Bees do the same thing.
What about the queen bee? Isn't that like the Shekhinah? The Shekhinah?
Maybe the Kohen Gadol. I don't know about this. I don't know. I never really thought about it like that. Edward, but I do know that. Oh, sorry. I just want to know.
No, I'm a patrilineal Jew, and I never bar mitzvah, but I like Kabbalah and Judaism.
He's not. So your
Harry's the only Jew in the whole world. He's the only Jew. Harry's the best person in the whole wide world. He's up on this pedestal, and everyone is around him. Amazing. Just so you know.
You know what movie that's from, Danny? It's your favorite movie. One who flew over the cuckoo's nest. That's you. You're fucking, what's his name from One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Jack Nicholson's character here. You know, I'd rather be that than a Nazi
Medication time.
and a Nazi and an ultra handler. I would rather be considered crazy than be a fucking satanic fucking person who thinks they're better than other people.
There you go.
Yeah, because that's so
There you go.
godlike, right? So
There you
godly.
go. It's time for you to defend another Nazi. There you go. Okay, go defend another Nazi, Danny. That's what you love to do, right? We all know who it was, anyways. It was whatever the fuck. We're gonna all tell him that you told us it. Don't worry. Can't we all just get along?
Of course, this is us getting along. Not when you have a hairy ball sack that
She wishes she had a hairy ball sack. That's the problem. She doesn't.
Oh God.
Her husband won't give her that dick. I don't
No, you got it twisted. He wants to give her the dick. She doesn't want it.
Yeah. He wants to say that again, Nikki. That just sounded backwards.
He wants to give her the dick. She doesn't want it.
Like I said, he probably has a small penis. That's why. Let's be honest.
Must take one to know one, hairy ball sack.
Come on, you used that line already. Come on, we do require new material on this front. Someone say new material? Yes, we need new material, Randy. I don't know, because she's had like 7 mental breakdowns today. I think that's a new record. Honestly, that's pretty. You
One year I had 9 in one day.
She needs to go take her medication.
Medication time. Medication time.
7 is a low number.
Did you ever
If
think?
medication doesn't work, there's always a therapist.
Did you ever think that Danny?
I can let you know.
Did you ever think that Danny?
Behavioral therapy, David?
Did you ever think that Danny is intentionally acting this way to get a rise out of you?
Well, it worked. She got a rise out of me.
What? Go there, Randy.
Not that kind of rise. Don't be gross. Sorry. I didn't mean that. I mean, literally.
I don't know.
That's disgusting.
Listen, I just got in the room. I'm trying to catch up. So.
Yeah, you was caught up quite quickly.
Listen, I have a confession to make. I had a bad first date. I can't believe it.
Wait, what happened to
No,
that?
I think you like the girl. You just want to move in with her. I think that's what it is.
No, she doesn't like me. Can you believe it? She doesn't like me.
Wait, your Saturday woman? No, I'm saying the one that you really like. I think you just like guys need to like take it to the next step.
Well, I tried. In fact, now I realize as I'm replaying the whole thing in my head, I realize I was a little too enthusiastic, and I'm trying to turn it to
the dates.
You're saying about the date today or the Saturday only woman?
No, Saturday only woman, things are kind of winding down. We're on the slow train to breakup-ville. But I recently had a first date with somebody, and I think I was a little too enthusiastic, and it's really backfired. But what I'm doing is I'm turning it into a teachable moment. I'm literally sitting down, and I've literally written down the things that I look back and I think make me cringe.
It's a good thing that dating sites don't have the outdoor reviews.
Randy,
Yeah, I said some very cringy things, and now I'm looking back and
I can see it working out between the two of us. Look, you can say cringy things. I can out cringe you. So just to make you feel better about yourself, you probably wouldn't say half the shit that I would have probably said.
Randy, if you really want to get laid, you have to essentially find the perfect environment, and in that perfect environment, you will find your target.
Well, what do you mean when you say perfect?
Like, no, like I'm not talking.
I'm not gay, but what?
No, what I'm saying is what I'm saying is on St. Patty's Day, it's basically you have to go to an event. You have to go to an event.
I'm not thinking you're gay. I just wanted to get some laughs out of yourself.
It's only Harry Balls like this.
Plus, Randy,
I know, I'm just having fun. I'm having fun too.
Randy, a lot of people travel to other cities to get laid, and I see that a lot.
Do that. We'll not do that. I'm not doing it. I'm the opposite. I don't even go to some of the boroughs.
Yeah, because we need to go to another zip code.
Just take the Stella,
Randy knows don't go around.
DC or Boston.
I'm saying women travel. No, women travel.
Dude, I had a couple of dates with some women in Queens. Honestly, it took an hour to get from my house to hers. It was not worth it.
Randy, you've gotta time your stups to events like 4th of July, Memorial Day, St. Patty's Day, Christmas, New Year's Eve. Like that, those are high holy times for stooping. Your percentage of stooping goes way up.
Yeah, but what are you saying? Get laid 6 times a year? What the fuck?
No, I'm saying if you can do it 6 times in a year, you can do it 6 times in a month. It's all about your attitude. You're admitting that you opened your mouth and now you're the fish on the wall, and now you're never going to get stooped.
What do you mean? What are you saying?
You opened your mouth and now you're a fish on the wall.
So look, you're saying the more I talk, the less attractive I am?
Yeah, make her do all the talking. Just listen. Okay. Yes.
That was my
It
big
was
mistake.
75% her talking and
Let her get the dopamine. Give her the dopamine. Let her be as vainglorious as she can possibly be. Make her the queen bee.
there's gonna be so many other people to.
It's 2025, Randy. The year is yours. It's called the Queen Bee Shechina. You're gonna get stuck with the Shechina theory.
Listen, stop calling it stuff.
Okay, I'm not into it like you are. You know, I use terms like hook up instead of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you could just say love. That would be the best way to say it.
Well, sure. Don't run from the hills on a first date. You said that.
I overdid it. I was a little too into it.
Give some examples. Like, what are we talking
You
about?
don't say love, Yakov. You
So
say
embarrassed.
L-O-V-E.
Texting.
No, I'd love to know what you said too.
Did you sin?
Okay.
Just give us one line.
Like I didn't. The day was on a Sunday, and I didn't just say, "Hey, let's get together in the future." I actually brought up specific days. Like, are you free next? I can't believe it. I look back and I can't believe it that I did that. So I'm like literally making like a list. I'm turning it
Yeah,
into.
but was the date going really well?
I thought so. Obviously, she did not.
Wait, what was your response when you said, "Let's get together next Thursday"?
Oh,
Another
it's
great
if
date
I said,
night.
let's get together next Saturday or something like that. Like I had something in mind for next Saturday. She said, I have to see what my daughter's doing. And that's, I just really shouldn't have put her on the spot like that. That's the bottom line. I just
You
overdid
can turn
it.
it all around.
Fuck them.
Randy, you can turn it around.
Yeah.
All you
Well-
do is say, listen, I've been dating for a while, and I've actually never went on a date where I enjoyed myself and I got to be my true self. And I just want to thank you for allowing me to be me. And I enjoyed your company as a friend. I mean, get to know you more and take your panties off.
Yeah, no, I think that's
Next
long.
Thursday at 4
I think I have to treat it like the teachable moment that it is, learn from it, and I may reach back out to her in a month.
BB, have you actually used that text message?
No. She basically, after our date, she sent me a text saying, I had a great time.
Great.
I don't think it makes sense for us to see each other again, or to, I mean, she basically said it's over. I mean, that's all I could do. It's done. Even Babe Ruth strikes out once in
So
a while.
look, what do you have to lose to say, got your text, I spent a lot of time thinking about it, I may have come across too strong.
Randy, where is the Holy of Holies, Randy?
You have to respect it.
Hopefully he comes up in hard times and hits him up all drunk and shit, It's
Drunken.
I think I have to treat it like a teachable moment. I already said that.
If you say the phrase teachable moment one more time,
I know, I'm sorry. There's nothing wrong.
Randy, what you're saying is your communication was ineffective. That you couldn't hypnotize
Oh my
her.
God. It was so weak, my communication. I'm so
I
embarrassed.
like that joke. Dave was just some fun.
Medication time. But I'm now, honestly, I'm like literally coming up with a bunch of rules.
Okay, first
Like,
rule
to
is
myself.
don't end a date on a Sunday. That's like friend zone category.
No.
Have you ever went out with wingmen before? Like, just
That- Can we analyze what he just said? Don't go out on a Sunday. Is there anything to that?
Unless you're going someplace fun like a football game or she said, hey, I want to go do this thing and it happens to be on a Sunday. It's a concert.
this great movie.
Yeah, Sunday is the Lord's Day,
Yeah,
It's
and
just
she
not
takes
fun.
Sundays off. Every week she takes Sundays off. It's old movie, and there's a
Yeah.
song called
I
Never
just,
on a Sunday, and
Right, Irma LaDouche is the name of the movie. Shirley MacLaine.
Sunday is just such a like day for a date.
No, it's not because they're chill. You know what? Maybe you're right. I shouldn't dismiss it.
If it's a daytime thing, Sunday's cool.
No, it was Sunday evening. Oh my God, I'm divorced.
Oh God.
Sorry, Randy. I don't-
Sunday is a great day to procreate. Charge your chakras.
People have work on Monday. They got shit to do.
No, people need to learn how to enjoy a Sunday, and then you can make it a day of
Yeah,
love.
like if it's like a Sunday day, not like Sunday evening. I wouldn't go out on a Sunday.
Randy, spring is here. You're gonna
Sunday
pop.
is that people haven't worked that day, so they're more chill, they're more relaxed, they're less stressed. And in fact, I was off my game.
How does it work out for you?
didn't work out well because I was off my game.
Randy, this is your talk therapy moment. Your catharsis and transmutation begins now.
I like it, and that's yeah. I really should have kept it light and fun and funny. Instead, something that I do every once in a while is I get comfortable. I meet a woman who reminds me of a woman that I already knew, and then I kind of once I think, okay, so this woman reminds me of Liz, and suddenly I act a lot more comfortable and let my guard down and a lot more because they remind me of someone I know. It's the second time it's happened. And it's bad.
As you said, it's a teachable moment. Stop beating yourself up over it.
I know.
Forms of an extra person, and that's it.
I am moving on. Yes.
But I want a 1,000-word essay on my desk tomorrow morning by 10 a.m.
Double spaced or what?
Yeah, whatever you want, just 1,000 words.
Anyway, I mean, will it ever end? I mean, here I am at this age, and I'm like going on dates and learning.
Yeah, but Randy, it's literally a dance. It's a dance, and you gotta spin. If you ain't spinning, you're not dancing.
If you ain't spinning, you ain't winning.
All you can do is get back out on the dance floor and keep dancing.
No,
Seriously, this is something a lot of people sleep on.
You go on 100 dates. You'll get lucky 1% of it. It's all about quantity.
Yeah, 100 days. You figure it's a
1%. Yeah.
X amount of money per date. Sure, 100 days. You spend $50,000, you get laid, right?
Randy,
Meeting for coffee for the first. No one goes out to a restaurant on first date.
Randy, the expression is just join the dance.
Another mistake.
The partners.
I've seen the girls out.
My kids say that's not the way the kids date anymore.
So what do they do?
I went on as many free
Bullshit.
meals as I could, and the best free meal I got was like a $400 tasting menu meal. So it
You met your
happens.
husband?
No, I mean I should have just went home with that guy, but he was such a nerd. So
So what happens?
Damn.
What do you get? You give him a kiss on the cheek? What?
he didn't even get laid. Yeah, I don't know.
Dude, I swear.
Yeah,
Like,
400 for dinner for her or for?
How was the food though?
You could have saved 300.
Dude.
Yeah, he probably regretted taking me out. What can I say?
That's
Try to
right.
just play it low key. Just say, hey, let's meet for coffee or let's meet.
That's what
You're like, this was a great dinner, but my destiny is to marry a fat Ukrainian that I don't want to fuck.
Per se in the city, and it was nice.
First day, yeah, like in Time Warner Center.
But that wasn't a first date, was it? Per se, tell me.
Yeah, what?
He said it was the first date. Listen.
He did a $400 tasting menu for our first date.
Okay, but did you go to the bar or did you actually go to the dining room?
It was a reservation, months in advance.
Okay.
Favorite
First date. That's my
$400 at the bar.
first date is my third favorite French restaurant.
I'm trying to understand. He met you. He said, "Let's get together for dinner," and he made a reservation for 2 months later. I mean, is that really what happened? Because when I meet somebody, I want to have a dinner within a week. I'm trying to figure out how that.
No, but I have reservations, but I don't have.
How many texts back and forth did you have with this woman?
Dude, here's the thing. I met her literally on the street in real life, and it was so magical.
Interesting.
I met her in real life. It clicked so well.
What's someplace up?
Not in my neighborhood. Let's leave it at that. Met her. It was so
I think there's still grounds to resurrect this.
I mean, I'll talk to you about it in private.
Okay.
Even though I know you'll share what I say in private.
No, I Randy, I made one mistake.
I know. I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry.
Come on.
Randy, how long after was the date after meeting her in the street? Was it that
I met her on a Sunday, and it was a busy week. I said I'm going out of town this coming week, and I said I'll be back. Actually, and she suggested that Sunday night. She suggested it to me. We met for dinner. And you know what? I just was a little too enthusiastic, a little too into it. And look, I'm sure she has her own baggage too. And then
I would just go for the straight,
Jack of I did a version of that. What you suggested, I did a version.
You didn't say that half hour ago.
Well, I'm telling you, I know. I did a version of like, hey, I wish I had done extra, whatever. Some version. And I said, I'd like to stay friends. Keep me in your mind, and I didn't hear back. So I think I have to let it go.
Randy, these things come like quicksand, like lightning bolts. It's definitely a lightning bolt thing with Cupid. It's like, holy shit, did this just
That's
happen?
right. Yeah, no, that's right. Because I tell you, when we met on the street, it was magical.
I like it. So I forget who it was, but somebody brought up first day, right? So I think Danny. That is my second favorite French restaurant in all of New York City. What's your first day? First day is amazing. What's your first favorite? Le Bernardin. I knew you were going to say Le Bernardin. I was about to say it. You don't like Daniel? Daniel's okay, but I think it's a little overrated. But I've never had a bad meal at Daniel.
What's your favorite comedy club in New York?
I don't do comedy clubs, to be honest with you, so I don't
comedy clubs.
No.
Does anyone agree with me that comedy clubs are great for a date?
Yeah, great. Yeah, very good.
Rodney!
Don't raise your hand when the comic is asked.
Oh no! Don't even sit in the front row. Of course.
Yeah.
I'm a natural target for comedians.
Randy, you just gotta always remind yourself when the pumpkin is boiling, you split.
Wait, go ahead. What are you trying to say, Chicago cheeseburger?
When the iron is hot, you strike. What is your purpose? Because a lot of people, they go out on a date and they forget the purpose. You gotta boil that pumpkin. You gotta touch that hand. You gotta massage it. You gotta get that blood pressure and that dopamine up, and you gotta get it on the menstrual cycle, and then you split that pumpkin.
Dude, I do my best, okay? I'm not gonna say more than that, but I do my best. All right, you're not gonna French kiss somebody in the middle of a comedy club or a dinner or anything.
Oh, you might if she's got 4 vodka sodas.
I don't know what he's suggesting I do. Am I gonna finger fuck her?
Yeah, you might finger her underneath that table. You never fingered a girl on a first date underneath the table?
The only time I do comedy is and the last time was like during the New York Comedy Festival, right? So it's an entire weekend. So basically, it was like I did a couple shows at a Broadway theater.
Mm-hmm. Ladies, can I hear from any ladies?
Wait, Randy, I got one more recommendation. Buy a book on eBay. I told you this. Buy a book on sex magic, bring it to the date, and she'll be fucking hypnotized with the title of the book, and your chances of getting laid will go up 60%, guaranteed.
Right. We went down this road before.
That's so stupid. Just buy fur gnomes because, I saw this TikTok and this lady said that she, ate her man's ass because he was wearing fur gnomes. And so maybe if you wear that,
What is a fur gnome?
Pheromone. It's like a. It's like oxytocin in a spray. It's bullshit. Go to the fucking gym if you want pheromones. Danny is a fucking schmucko.
You know when you say a musky smell?
Yeah.
No, you gotta go to the gym and get your testosterone up before a date.
Right. That's, listen, you're onto something too, of course. The better you feel and look, the better it is, of course. Yeah. All right, man.
Good luck out there, Slugger.
Dude, it's rough out there, but I'm never giving up. I'm never giving up.
1%?
No. I'm doing better than 1%, dude.
I'm just kidding around.
I know, it's funny.
Haven't you seen Grumpy Old Men with Walter Matthau?
What about it?
Meaning that it's about grumpy old men. The point is, when you go out on a date, your attitude has to be joy and love. And, you got to be in the now completely. And there's no point in talking about next Friday, next Saturday. It's irrelevant in the now.
You're right, dude. It's such a drag. And I look back at what I've said and all that. You're right. It's all about the way to make people feel good. It's all about making people feel good. As you saw, communication.
They'll automatically feel good.
Right. Well, I can't do that, but I can drug it with my humor, with my sense sense of humor.
I hope that's never happened, but like.
What? Anyway, so I have a question. The guy takes you out, first date per se. What happens? Does he call you and say, hey, like a few days later, say, I'd love to see you again? And what happens?
They lived out of town. It was it didn't work out. It was just like a flop.
Not what he's asking.
It's a filter, Randy.
Yeah, how does the guy follow it up? He surely must have texted her.
I've been married for like 11 years. This is a long time ago.
Wow. All right.
No, I haven't been married that long. I've just been in a relationship that long. It's just 5 years of marriage, so.
Taking my ass with the feather, you know. You got me going with your story.
Like 6 years.
That's right.
So long ago. It's like a different life, you know?
If you say so. Okay. All right.
This gotta be creative, bro. Like, if you were taking a picture when you guys were out walking to the restaurant, if you ordered
just
like.
treat her like shit, you know?
Treat her like shit.
Randy.
I swear that she's on like manic.
Randy, you got to look at it as a job interview. It's your first meeting. She's filtering and you're filtering. Hold on. And then listen, the point is, you don't want a fucking job. You want to fuck. That's why I say, don't confuse a job interview for an event. And that's why I say you should bring a book called Sex Magic with you on that first date and say, what's the point of this date right now? What is your objective? Read this book real quick. And you will change her opinion on what it is that you want to do. And you will free her up morally and ethically to say, wait a minute, there's no moral equation to this? And I can fuck anybody I want to fuck?
Which book called Sex Magic?
I have.
We looked it up and
There's so many. I think it doesn't make a difference. I think as long as you have a title that says Sex Magic.
So you think I should just, okay, I'm on the Sex Magic Witchcraft. How's that one go?
Yeah, there you go. Because technically every woman, and not only is she a bitch and a witch, she needs to unlock her snitch, which is her clit. Get that Sex Magic book and test out my experiment.
Have you ever like done a date where you've been like totally cool with a chick that you could? This works like 9 out of 10 times. Eye gazing. Tell them, have you ever been asked if they've ever tried it? You should Google it. It's the most fucked up thing. So you sit close to people and you're like a foot apart, and you stare into each other's eyes. Like there's a whole study.
That's powerful. And I've never done that, but I'm gonna try that. I always do a hand massage, but now I'm gonna do a hand massage and eye gazing.
Eye gazing is completely fucked up because, like most of the times they'll end up crying. But it gets so intense that they're in like.
No, what you're doing is you are like hypnotizing each other with your eyes, and so you're creating dopamine with each other through the eyes.
Exactly.
The thing is, that Randy, essentially, you need a 3-point plan for dopamine creation on your next date, and you need to follow through with it, and then test the results. This is my 3-point plan for you: is get a Sex Magic book, give a hand massage, and do eye gazing, and you will fucking flare her dopamine and your dopamine.
Give a hand massage? Did you say?
I would do a 4th one, though, Randy. Honestly, I would take a Viagra 2 hours before you go on a date. And then, like, noticeably, like, walk around, like, and just, like, smile, like, you're cute. It's like, fuck, I don't know. He's always awake. He's always awake.
Wait, you're saying I should take a Viagra?
That's disgusting.
To know that I'm aroused?
Yeah.
Ew.
I don't know, dude. That sounds uncomfortable.
Don't listen to Phoebe.
It sounds uncomfortable. She'd be flattered.
It's not really my issue. It's not. I mean, I don't want to say too much, but I've never taken one yet.
Well, with all due respect to BB, I would not. I do not agree.
Thank you, David. Doesn't feel right.
Well, I'm gonna try anything, because I want you to be a success and come back.
Oh no, I'm doing it right. I'm doing it right.
You should just be authentic and be yourself, like, cause
I was a little too authentic.
No, I don't
That's
think you
my
were so
problem.
authentic. Maybe you guys just weren't a match. Just be authentic and just move on. And dating is about it's not always gonna work between the two people. So just
Right.
move on and
The
be
big thing
yourself.
is
Don't
you
be
can't-
someone fake. Don't just be yourself and
You
be your
can't be
best
too
self.
authentic, Randy. Never. Because
I feel like I was.
No. You
Everything
can
you're
never be too
thinking.
authentic because
No,
the
you
girl.
don't have to tell them everything you're thinking. You don't have to give away all your cards.
If
But
the
be
girl
yourself.
likes you,
That's what I did.
if she likes you, and then you were really authentic, you never change, so she only likes you the more every time. There's nothing worse than putting on this fucking facade, and acting like the perfect gentleman who you aren't really are, unless you